Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Put a Ring on It. It is season 1, episode 2, and it was titled Past Mistakes. All right, y'all. So I took some notes, but I watched the episode like earlier today while I was on break, and I'm trying to remember. So it's gonna take me a little minute to jog my memory on what happened. So bear with me, okay? All right. So it opens up with Dr. Nicole telling the men that they'll be dating other women and stuff, kind of sort of where left off last week or whatever, where she was telling the men that they will be dating, going on dates, basically. The dudes, they high five and whatnot. Shay was like, she had like a whole attitude, and she was worried that Mike would like it too much, like he would enjoy going out on a date with somebody else other than her too much or whatever. But she said that she wanted him to experience the experiment basically. um Ashley, she said that she was worried that Hollywood, oh, no, that's not what it was. Ashley said that when Hollywood proposed to her, he had said something about like date other people or something like that. And he says that he was scared, that he was trying to push her away, and that he wanted to be like 100% ready for the wedding or ready for marriage or whatever. So I was like, well, why would you even propose to her if you wasn't ready? Like, was it a proposal so you would lock her down so she wouldn't move on? Or like, who says that after they propose to somebody, go date other people, go find other people? Who says that? Like, what? So I was just like, I can understand he was scared, but his explanation, he was saying like he was scared that he wasn't the right one for her. Like, I just ain't understand that, because like, what? Why would you propose to somebody if you wasn't ready? Like, just wait until you feel like you ready to be in that committed relationship or whatever, but not propose to her and then be like, you know what, F that, you gonna have to go date other people. Like, what? That don't even sound right to me. But I was just like, okay, Hollywood. The guys was getting all like excited and stuff like that, and so Dr. Nicole had to remind him, like, look, let me remind y'all why y'all here. Y'all here to figure out if this is the kind of relationship y'all want to be in, ready if y'all stuck or y'all ready to make the move or whatever. So she had to bring them back down to reality. Like, this ain't no dating show where you go out here and do your own thing. Like, remember why we here, but pretty much. And what, something happened. Let me see. Was this when Ashley started crying? I think this. No. That's not it. That's not when she started crying. I told you I watched it earlier today. It's like 6 o'clock now, and I think I watched it at like 11 o'clock. So I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. So, Ashley was saying like originally when he proposed to her, he said no because of his fears, and now she's saying no because of her fears. That's what it was. That's not when she started crying. She started crying later on. And then Shay said she was ready to get married today, which we already kind of know. Mike was like, yeah, I don't really think that we need that. And now she was like, she was like, yeah, I don't want to hear that or whatever. And I was like, girl, he don't want to marry you. Like, he don't want to marry you, girl, but whatever. And then Mimi and Ulysses, they were going to sit this date out because of their whole family situation going on. Because remember, her dad is pretty much dying right now, and they have to make the decision if they're going to put him on a DNR list and so forth. So Dr. Nicole was like, I need y'all to kind of focus on your family situation right now. This is not the right time for him to go on a date. Y'all need to come together and make the decisions y'all need to make. What else? And then Dr. Nicole gave him like a task to do. She was saying like, you can't live in your past all the time, because some of them are basically living in their past. They won't let go of what happened or whatever. She was like, if you keep living in your past, you can't build a future or whatever. And so she was saying that they were going to have to talk about their past, and she was going to have private meetings with each one of them or whatever. So let's just talk about Ashley and Hollywood right now. So Hollywood, he getting ready, child. He in his little turquoise drawers, and he like dancing and ironing and stuff. Ashley is pretty much like, what? You got your beard all soft and stuff. Let me touch it. He like, come on. You gonna mess up my day? I want to look good. So she got an attitude. She goes to the room and he like, whatever, she'll get over it or whatever. He was like, what did he say? I want to look good too. I want to get something. He said, I can't think of what he said, but something tells me that he cheated because she was saying like, she has to mentally prepare herself for him to go out on a date because he's done some things in the past or whatever. So I think he must have cheated on her in the past. So she extra nervous that something might go on during this date. So the date. The girl's name was Brenchia. No, she said it was Valencia with a B. So Berencia. That might sound right. She was cute or whatever. What's his name? Hollywood. He liked what he seen, and she liked what she saw. She was like, "Oh, he all muscular and stuff. I like that. Oh, he religious. I like that." Like she was checking off the boxes. I was like, slow your roll, girl. He's still in the whole relationship, but whatever. They was talking. He was telling her how beautiful she was and stuff, and he was like, what did he say? He said his goal basically to be on a date is to see if he really is into Ashley, because if he meets a girl who kind of sparks something in him, then that means that he's not really into Ashley as much as he thought he was or whatever. Because he says like if he makes that connection or whatever like that. And what else happened, child? Why he asked that girl why she was single, talking about something, why you single, you so pretty and stuff, why you single, you crazy, is you crazy? I said, what, like what kind of, what? Then she was like, why I gotta be crazy just because I'm single, whatever, I just can't be single to just be single. He was like, I don't know, but is you crazy like you blowing up the man's phone, or you crazy you keying cars and stuff? I was just like, Hollywood, slow your roll. And so they was talking. He prayed over the food and stuff. And then she was asking him, I don't know if she asked him why you are single or what you're looking for in a girl or something like that, or how long you dated or something. I don't remember exactly what she said, but he said that he hasn't dated in like 8 years or whatever. She was like, 8 years? Wow. And I thought it was interesting because he was saying like he was in a relationship. He was in a relationship versus he's in a relationship. Do the people they're dating, do they know that what's going on or whatever? I wonder. But the girls, I thought, and I say it was interesting because the girls, when they went on a date, they kept saying that they were in relationships. Like, I got a boyfriend. But Hollywood, I don't know if Mike did, because I don't think he even brought up Shay. But they were saying, like, I was in a relationship or whatever. So that made me think, like, do the people they're dating know what's going on? I mean, they would have to, I would think, because, like, wouldn't you wonder why the cameras was there? Or maybe they think they on a dating show, but they know Dr. Nicole, so I don't know. Y'all let me know down there in the comments. But anyway, he admitted that he pushed his girlfriend away and stuff like that, and he wasn't ready to get married and yada, yada, yada. And he was flirting hard, and he was like, he still got a lot to learn or whatever. Ashley on the phone talking to somebody, talking about how Hollywood was out on a date and stuff. He come in the door, she asking him how the date go and stuff, and he like, well, I ain't touch on her booty, I ain't kiss her, I ain't do. She was like, oh, okay, calm down, it's okay. He was like, well, I'm just letting you know what I didn't do. And so he was telling her how the date was and whatnot. And she said, like, the thing that's getting to her is that she is not upset that he went on this date. Like, she's happy he went on a date, and that she's happy that it went well. So she was like, damn, that's telling me that it's a fracture in our relationship or whatever. So she tells him that, just letting him know, like, what she feeling and stuff. Child, he got all in his bag, and he was just like going off and stuff. And she like, look, you puffing up, calm down and stuff. Like, why are you puffing up and stuff? I'm just trying to tell you how I'm feeling and stuff like that, not for you to puff up. I should be able to tell you how I'm feeling without you getting upset. He going, oh, well, we might as well just be friends and stuff. Like, what we doing all this for? Like, and then in his interview, he like, well, I'm gonna take all the rules off. We could kiss, we could do, you want to hold hands? Like, he going off and off. Like, he just be riled up like that. Like, it don't take him nothing to get riled up. And he was like, he was the whole time he was trying not to do stuff because the whole time he was thinking he would cheat or whatever, but he ain't do nothing. And here you go telling me you want me to go out on dates. Like, he was getting all in his bag, child. I was like, Lord. Because then I think he told her, like, do you, boo? I said, what in the world? Like, calm down, Hollywood. She just expressing how she feeling and stuff. Like, would you rather her keep it in, or would you rather y'all have a nice dialogue and a conversation on how y'all gonna fix that fracture or whatever? But I was just like, Lord. Then Mimi and Ulysses. So they're talking to they're talking to the regular doctor, the doctor who's taking care of her father. And I think she said that she didn't want the DNR, so the doctor started explaining like what's going on with him, like his organs are shutting down, and if you have to do CPR, we're gonna have to crack his ribs, and we're gonna do it. Like she was basically telling him like it's not gonna be worth it. Like your dad is gonna go through a lot of pain and stuff. So the sister was on the other line listening in, and she was like, "Well, it's some things we're gonna have to think about, and then we'll get back to you, doctor." And so the doctor hung up, and the sister was talking to Mimi, and she was like, "Look, I know you saw him on the iPad, but Dad is really small. He's frail. Like, he is going through it and stuff." So I think they're going to come down to the conclusion that they're going to have to sign a DNR paperwork and stuff like that. Mimi was trying to tell Ulysses, but he was in his own head because that's like his dad too. Because he said his dad went to jail and he hasn't known his father. So Mimi's dad took that role. So that's all he knows. So that's like his best friend. Like, that's his, his dad basically. And he was upset, so he couldn't really comfort her because he was upset. And so she was in her feelings because she like, look, Dr. Nicole said we need to stick by each other and hold each other down. And he going outside to get some air and stuff like that and don't want to talk to me. I feel some type of way or whatever. So that was that. And then Dr. Nicole came to visit, and they were talking about what was going on with the dad and stuff like that. And that's when Dr. Nicole basically was kind of like, look, y'all need to hold each other down. Y'all need to focus on what's going on with your dad. You need to make sure that y'all get everything situated. Y'all don't need to be in this experiment. Won't y'all just kind of focus on your family unit right now? Focus on the dad, because once the dad passes away, y'all will need each other more than ever or whatever like that. So she was crying, of course, and Ulysses was crying, and they kind of bonded right there. And then that's when Mimi had saw, like, because Ulysses told what was going on with him, how he was feeling and stuff. And that's when Mimi saw, like, look, he going through something too, so I can't be so hard on him when he hurting as well. So they have to kind of bring peace to each other's lives and stuff like that. So they're pretty much out of the experiment or whatever, which I had already mentioned in the last review, because I told y'all it was another couple that was in the trailer, or their own trailer or whatever. And I think it was Tamika and somebody. Don't give me the line, child, because I ain't write their names down. But they should be on the episode next week or whatever. So I already told, I knew once that first episode came on and they was talking about the dad and she was crying and stuff, I was just like, yeah, they not gonna be on this, and they don't need to be, because this is not the right time for them. They can't focus on nothing right now. They can only focus right now on their dad, and then once that passes, or once that goes through a cycle and stuff like that, then maybe they can focus on their relationship and stuff like that. But right now they got a lot going on, so they're pretty much off the show. So next, Shay and Michael. So Dr. Nicole met with them. She didn't meet with Hollywood and Ashley. She didn't meet with them too. She just met with Mimi, Ulysses, and Shay and Michael. So Dr. Nicole came to meet with them, and she was like, "Oh, this is nice. This is the house y'all built together. This is real nice." I like Dr. Nicole. Michael, he was saying like he was scared to share in front of the group, but once it's like one-on-one, he should be okay to share with Dr. Nicole, because he has a hard time sharing his feelings. That's what he was saying. And she came and she said, I gave y'all an assignment to kind of think about something from the past that's kind of holding y'all hostage. And Mike had said, and somebody else said in the comments, and I must have missed it last week, but he said that Shay, when they got together after like a few weeks, she broke up with him. She ghosted him or whatever, and then she came back, And then she ghosted him again, and then she came back. So she was stuck on this ex, and every time I guess the ex would break her heart or break up, she would run back to Mike, and he would pick up the pieces or whatever, and then she would ghost him again. So she ghosted this man 2 times. So he spoke up about that, how he felt, and he said like in his family or growing up, he wasn't really good with sharing his emotions and stuff. So he's having a hard time sharing his emotions with her. And then especially after she done ghosted me, like he said, growing up, when people would leave, they would, they would leave or whatever. So he would just be like, okay, I don't want to get attached to you because you gonna leave or whatever. And here she go leaving 2 times, no word, no nothing. And then when they got back together the second time, she ghosted him once, broke up, ghosted him twice, broke up. Third time they got back together, he ghosted her ass, and she was ready, but then he came back with her and stuff like that. So it's just like this whole breakup thing. So he was saying like he felt some type of way about that. She looking like, really? Like, that's what you holding against me, that I ghosted you? Like, you never told me this and stuff. Like, she was real dismissive about his feelings and stuff like that. And I can also understand her point too. Like, if you don't tell me how you feeling about a certain situation, how I'm going to fix it or what I'm going to do about it if I don't know anything about it. So he finally did speak on it and stuff like that. And then she was still kind of like, well, I didn't know. Are you serious? Like, is that why you acting the way you acting and stuff? And I was just like, girl, yes, he's telling you now. Listen. But she was in her head. And then, what else, child? I said that. Let me see. Oh, so then Dr. Nicole was kind of like, well, you can't want him to share his emotions. What she say? She said you can't want him to share his emotions now, but you didn't want him to share his emotions back then, or something like that. And she was like, what you need to do is acknowledge and affirm what he's feeling right now, and then maybe you may get more out of him. Because Shay was like, well, I don't really get anything from him. He act like he don't care, and he act like when I leave, he not heard and stuff like that. And I mean, if you not acknowledging his feelings, of course he gonna act like it don't matter to him or whatever. But he still need to talk up, because if she don't know, like, how the hell, whatever. So the date, they went on a date. He went with this girl named Riley. She was kind of full of herself. I wasn't really feeling Riley too much. She was just like, oh yeah, I know I'm the shit, and I'm marrying material, and yada yada yada. She was from Kansas, and he was like, oh, I've never been to Kansas. She was like, oh, you need to come out there, get you some barbecue. He was like, yeah, I heard y'all got good barbecue. I heard that's what all y'all got. She was like, we got the ladies. I was just like, girl, calm down. Like, simmer down, child. But she was saying like dating in Atlanta is too much, too many people out here sharing and stuff. And he was saying like he likes to keep it kind of light. He don't want to rush the relationship. He don't really want to get married right now. And she said that she didn't want to get married either. And then it was something else she said. It was some other stuff. And so that's when Mike was like, oh, maybe Dr. Nicole knows something or something like that. So that's why I was saying, like, do they know Dr. Nicole, but do they know the other person is in a relationship? I don't know. But then Shay had got on like her camera or something like that, did like a little vlog, and she was saying like him going out on a date is physically making her sick. Because she's scared that he needs more time to date, and it kind of scares her or whatever. So then everybody is back together in the house with Dr. Nicole, except for Ulysses and Mimi. And she kind of explains to everybody that what's going on with them and why they're not coming back and stuff like that. So they started talking about the first date and stuff like that. And she started with Hollywood. And Hollywood was like, yeah, I was getting ready. I had on my fresh drawers. You know, my drawers ain't be good, but I had on the good drawers that day. You know what I'm saying? They was fly. And so he was saying like the date basically told him that he still got it going on. He still got game, because he didn't think he still had game after 8 years of being with Ashley and stuff. And he was like, I met her and her lips was looking good, so I had to kiss her and stuff. And Ashley looking like, what? I ain't know nothing about no kiss. He was like, no, I'm just joking. But I did hug her. I was just like, Hollywood, get it together. And so he was saying like she was real spiritual. She was listening to him. He was saying like she likes sex and intimacy, because that's what she said on the date. And he was a hot mess with it. Ooh, I like sex. Yeah, I like sex or whatever. I was just like, Lord. And so then at the house, he was like, yeah, she was talking about sex and intimacy. And I stay hot and ready like Little Caesars, okay? I was just like... So then Ashley told Dr. Nicole how she felt like about the whole he went on a date and stuff like that. And so then he got all puffed up again, child. He got all in his bag again, and it was a mess. And then so Dr. Nicole was basically like, look, just because the wires is dead in that space, what she say? Just because the wires are unplugged in that space don't mean the wires are dead. Y'all can reconnect them and work on it or whatever. So he calmed down a little bit, but he was still like in his bag all the way. And I think that's when she started yelling and all that other stuff. Was that when they started getting in it? No, okay, that wasn't it. I'm sorry. Y'all see, I want to talk about that so quick. But anyway, so then Mike talked about the date. He said the date was cool. And Shay, you can see on her face all the way that she was not happy with that at all. Because especially when he said that girl had a nice body. Did you all see her face? She was just like, what? I was just like, Lord. Shay said she was worried. She said it felt like it was one of the longest dates ever, but maybe it really wasn't. She was saying like, well, damn, is he spending the night or whatever? And then she said she had to reassure herself that he's not going to leave her after one day. Here go Hollywood underneath his breath. He may. I said, shh, Hollywood, that girl ain't right. She ain't right. She don't want to hear that. Because every time they argue, she asks him, is he going to leave her or whatever? So that's the issue right there. They need to work out. And he was saying like that Riley's energy was good and stuff like that. And he enjoyed the date, but it really wasn't a big deal and stuff. And Shay got all in her bag, and she like, well, I wish him the best. And Dr. Nicole called her out on it and was like, look, don't be being passive aggressive. If that's not what you really want, then let him know. Say what you want and say what you need or whatever. And he tried to touch her, child. She was just like, you better touch your own. She was in her bag hard. And Dr. Nicole basically said, look, y'all need to be able to be honest with each other and don't create something else. Just tell the truth or whatever. And it's okay. Y'all should be able to share and be truthful with each other without any penalties or consequences and stuff like that. What's his face said no. What's his name? Hollywood said no to the date. He said the girl ain't had no big booty, so that's why he ain't wanted it. I said Hollywood is a hot ass mess. Ashley supported his decision. Mike said it wasn't no real initial spark, and if Dr. Nicole said there's no real spark, then don't go on a second date. So that's why he said no. Shay was happy with that, child. And then Dr. Nicole mentioned a persistent issue from the past, and did they kind of talk it out and work through it and stuff. And Mike, that's what Mike said, that his household wasn't really emotional. Like his parents never said I loved you or anything like that. And Shay was like, well, I thought he was kind of joking about the whole ghosting thing, but I realized that I need to be more apologetic and stop dismissing his feelings, and then maybe he'll forgive me or something like that. And so Dr. Nicole was like, well, who says that if you hurt my toe that when I need to get over it? She was like, well, if it take a year, I mean, like, y'all need to get over it, some shit like that. I was just like, girl. And I'm like, he might not get over it that quickly, like, especially if you keep being dismissive to his feelings. And then in her interview, she was like, well, I never realized how dismissive I was to his feelings and stuff, but now she's trying to work on it and stuff like that. And he said he doesn't, in his interview by himself, he said something like he don't trust her or something like that, and that he doesn't feel like he can get that deep with her. And I said, but she's trying to get this man to marry her. That ain't gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. And then Ashley said that their past thing was when he called off the wedding, it really hurt her because she was ready. She was, paid for the stuff and everything. She was ready to walk down that aisle and stuff. And he said something like, he said something like she be doing the most, and he'll do all these fancy things and stuff to show that he loves her, but then he'll do the opposite and be real sarcastic about it or whatever. So he kind of wishy-washy. She don't know which one is, Hollywood or whatever. And then he got all his bag again, talking about, well, what we doing all this for? We might as well just be friends and stuff. Like, come on now, we might as well just, who got all that time to be waiting and stuff? I said, what in the world is wrong with this boy? And so Dr. Nicole had to get him together. Ashley was saying, like, it kind of, was it him who said it was like no, I think it was her who said she uses it to protect herself, because she got to protect herself because she don't feel safe because of how he acts when she kind of shares her feelings and stuff. And then how he kind of acts on he canceled the whole wedding and stuff. So she got to protect herself. And then they was kind of going back and forth. And then he was like, he saw her in his life. I said, no, that's past tense. You see her in your life and you want to work on it, or no, like, come on now. And then he was saying, like, he shuts down, and she said, you need to change that. Then Ashley was being real sarcastic when he was kind of speaking his mind and stuff, and Dr. Nicole had to check her. I said, I like Dr. Nicole because she be checking them. She don't be letting them get away with nothing. And because Dr. Nicole told her, look, you need to manage your words and stuff like that. And she told him that he needs to decide what to do with his anger, because he like, well, she's saying this, and she like, well, that's on her. You need to learn how to respond or act. You can change how she changed, or her behavior shouldn't affect you. Basically, I couldn't get that shit out to save my life. But basically, like, just because she do something don't mean you got to snap off or whatever. So she told him that. And they kind of calmed down and they held hands and stuff like that. And then Dr. Nicole was telling them how she was inviting a new couple and that they was on their way in the door. And of course they got to walk in slow motion style. And we won't see the new couple until next week. But like I said, I think the girl name is Tamika. I can't, just look on YouTube. Y'all see it on the previews and stuff like that. I'm not the previews, child. On the, well, yeah, I think they are in the preview, but you'll see their trailer on YouTube too. But anyway, next week everybody going on a date. So both the girls and the guys going on a date. I said, Lord, this fitting to get interesting. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode. If y'all like this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to my channel but you're watching this review, and then hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all, until next time, peace.